Yo guys, what's up? It's your boy TRUEDBZ back with another video. Today is the 4th episode in my 2024 annual Top 5 Celebration Week series. This series is for me to look back at my previous work this year and rank various topics related to the channel in a top 5 format. Today's topic is my top 5 best games. Side note, these are games that I have played, not just games that released this year. Before we get into today's topic, please hit the like and subscribe button at the end if you enjoyed the video. It does wonders for the channel and helps me stay motivated to create more content like this. Also, be sure to check out my links below. In the description are my links to my Twitter and Twitch, my channel artist page bossumans on Twitter and TikTok where he posts his artworks and commissions, and my playlists are there as well that will provide you with more of my content. With all of that out of the way, let's get into today's topic. My honorable mention goes to Cuphead. Cuphead is a run-and-gun 2D platformer developed by Studio MDHR. It's a game inspired by 1930s cartoons. The main plot follows Cuphead and Mugman as they try to regain their souls after losing them to the devil in a game of cards. They must platform their way through levels, gain power-ups, and fight and defeat bosses to obtain their souls in exchange for theirs. Cuphead is a great game with lots of trial and error gameplay. You will lose a ton in this game, as it doesn't hold your hand at all, but the game never feels cheap and it makes it clear whenever you mess up. My main reason for why it's an honorable mention is that I haven't finished the game yet. Even with the factor like that, I can tell the developers put their heart and soul into this game, from the story, gameplay, visuals, music, and more, and it's definitely worth putting on my list. Number 5 goes to Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is a 3D arena fighting game developed by Spike Chunsoft. Being the long-awaited sequel to the famous Dragon Ball video game series known as Dragon Ball Z Sparking in Japan or Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi in the rest of the world. This game uses the previous series as a benchmark while adding new mechanics and new characters from the newer Dragon Ball shows and movies. It has lots of content in story mode, custom battles, online PvP, tournament mode, and plenty of unlockables in characters, costumes, power-ups, and Dragon Balls. This is the sequel us Dragon Ball fans have been waiting for. With lots of characters, interesting combat mechanics, a new story mode experience, and online PvP to battle your friends, this is definitely one of the best Dragon Ball games ever made. It did have a rocky start with lots of glitches, unintentional game-breaking mechanics, a poorly constructed pro-level scene managed by Bandai, and DLC that's taking a really long time. But these issues are being worked on, and if the devs continue on this path of improvement, this game can truly claim the title of the best Dragon Ball game of all time. Number 4 goes to Granblue Fantasy vs Rising. Granblue Fantasy vs Rising is a 2D fighting game developed by Arc System Works. Taking place in the world of Granblue Fantasy, players use characters to battle each other in 1v1 combat, utilizing both universal mechanics and unique character toolkits to defeat your opponent. The game does have different game modes such as story mode, online PvP, a party mode, and more. Granblue Fantasy vs Rising is my most played fighting game this year, and for good reason. Arc System Works did it again by making another fighting game based on a previous IP and knocking it out of the park. This game has various gameplay styles from rushdown, zoning, grapplers, and set play characters to make one of the best rosters I've seen in a fighting game. It also has one of my favorite OSTs of all time and has endless replay value as the game has deep mechanical players that will test you, and does have a battle pass and other systems that reward you with collectibles and skins to keep you playing. My only gripe is that the game does have some universal mechanics that are balanced weirdly, and character strengths can vary wildly between the entire roster. But the game is still a very fun experience, especially if it's your first fighting game. Thank you everyone for making it this far into the video. Just gonna take a quick break to do some shoutouts. First, shoutouts to my French channels, please consider checking them out as they provide a variety of content, so at least one of them will have something that you'll enjoy. Second, if you live near the York, PA area, please head down to Ready Up Gaming Lounge. It's a place where gamers from every genre can come together and play in a comfortable and chill environment. They are open from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. every day and hold dedicated events every week. For my channel's interest, they run Fighting Fridays, where for $5.30, you can play a multitude of fighting games with various players. They have big games like Street Fighter 6, Tekken 8, and Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, but they also have niche games like Dragon Ball FighterZ, Guilty Gear Strive, Rivals of Aether 2, and more. Finally, shout out to all my supporters on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. You guys really make doing content fun and worth pursuing. Alright, back to the video. Number 3 goes to Genshin Impact. Genshin Impact is an open-world adventure RPG developed by MiHoYo/Hoyoverse. Taking place in a fantasy world of gods and mortals, the main character, Aether or Lumine, must travel the world of Teyvat to uncover the mysteries of the world, rescuing all the nations from catastrophe and finding their lost sibling. You must use various warriors using elemental energy from wind, fire, water, ice, plants, electricity, and earth to build strong teams and battle monsters and gods. Of course, being an RPG, gathering loot and gear and weapons while also leveling up characters is important. Genshin Impact is probably the game I put the most hours into this year. The devs at MiHoYo really knows how to introduce you to a brand new land and makes you care about its world and characters. This year we got the nations of Fontaine, the land of Hydro, and Natlan, the land of Pyro, and both are fantastic nations with lots of lore, strong and interesting bosses, and has fantastic music. The stories of these lands are deep, interesting, and way too long to summarize, but playing through them was a blast. My critiques for this year is that even though we got some good quality of life updates, most of them were not useful or took way too long to add to the game. And the gacha system really needs a rework, as most characters in the game are unavailable, as MiHoYo uses a 4 banner per version system and only 1 5-star character per banner, meaning 99% of all 5 stars, which contains the strongest characters in the game, are not available for most players. And if you're trying to get a very specific character and they aren't put on one of the 4 banners, then you'll have to wait nearly 5 to 6 weeks to see if they'll put them in the next version. Even though these are really big issues, the fact that the main gameplay and story is so interesting and multi-layered, it keeps me coming back for more. Number 2 goes to Granblue Fantasy Relink. Granblue Fantasy Relink is an action RPG developed by Cygames. Being a side story in the main plot of the original game Granblue Fantasy, the player takes control of the captain, or Gran/Jita, and travel the skies exploring different sky islands, but are thrown into battle against the Church of Avia as they want to open a portal to Estalucia, a holy land for gods, but in the process the world will be destroyed. As the plot goes on, you must stop them and rescue your crewmate, as they are a key component to opening the portal. Gameplay wise, you must play various characters from the Granblue Fantasy world and level them up, obtaining gear and weapons. Throughout the game, you will go to multiple different islands and fight bosses known as primal beasts to get stronger. Granblue Fantasy Relink is a fantastic game on all fronts, from story, music, gameplay, lore, and much more. Being able to learn about the Granblue Fantasy world through this game is fantastic, as it doesn't bombard you with needless lore, as the characters introduce you to these elements in an organic way. It also has a glossary to help you learn more about the game if you're interested. The gameplay is very fluid and responsive. The various playable characters all have uniquely designed kits, so that anyone playing the game will find a character that they'll enjoy. My reason for why it's not number 1 is that after you beat the main plot and subplot, the game kinda just goes into an endlessly grinding mode, with no real incentive to continue playing other than beating bosses quicker. And with DLC that didn't last too long, playing the game long term isn't very fun. But not all game needs hundreds of hours of content to be good, and Granblue Fantasy Relink fulfills its main goal in introducing people to the Granblue fantasy world, and exceeds at that very well. Number 1 goes to Zenless Zone Zero. Zenless Zone Zero is a hack-and-slash action RPG developed by miHoYo/Hoyoverse. In the brand new world of New Eridu, two proxies named Bell and Wise are computer hackers who helps investigate the mysterious alternate dimension known as Hollows. Hollows are the result of a catastrophe that happened in the original city of Eridu, and as a result, most of the world is filled with portals to the Hollows, harboring monsters known as Ethereals. The story begins with Bell and Wise helping various factions of New Eridu, but as the story continues, new conspiracies are revealed. Gameplay-wise, you must take 3 characters known as agents and fight lots of monsters and bosses, while also playing minigames such as the TV modes for storytelling. Grinding for level ups, weapons, and gear are present as well. ZZZ has been a blast to play through. Even though it only came out in the summer of this year, it feels like I've been playing this game for years, as the game has changed so drastically in so many good ways. The story is well written, paced, and filled with fun and interesting characters. The gameplay is intense, multi-layered, and easy to understand. The developers often listens to feedback and responds in a timely manner, adding quality of life systems that even Genshin still doesn't have to this day. It has lots of systems in place to make grinding for characters easy and quick. Endgame modes has variety and goals, making combat more interesting, from time trials, score-based battles, a gauntlet style mode, and more. Finally, with plenty of rewards to grab, such as in-game achievements, a battle pass, and weekly activities, there's always something to earn in the game. It does have the problem Genshin has with its banner system, where if you want to summon for a very specific character, it'll probably take a while for that character to reappear on a banner. But the roster is still in its early stage, and we haven't gotten any reruns for previous characters, so we don't know if they will follow in Genshin's footsteps completely. Honestly, other than that, I have literally nothing bad to say about this game. It's nearly perfect in what I find fun in video games, and I hope the developers continue to make the game better and better. With all that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If so, please support the channel by hitting the like and subscribe button. Remember to check out my links in the description. Please consider helping out my friends' channels by checking out their content. If you're interested in any of my art pieces, be sure to check out my channel artist links down below. Reminder, if you're in the York, PA area, head on down to Ready Up Gaming Lounge to support the FGC community there as well. Also, let me know what is your favorite game that came out this year, or any game that you've played this year. That's all I have for today, so have a good evening everyone, and I will see you guys in the next video. Sayonara.